Gentlemen and female gentlemen, I have fantastic news. Today we are getting canceled. I'm sorry, we're doing it. We're going all the way. Feminism is dead, and we have killed it. It's dead. It's over. It's literally over. Feminists cannot even say their talking points anymore. That's how dead they are. Anyway, this video will definitely not be demonetized. Probably. Definitely hit the join button and subscribe. Let's up those numbers, as Ludwig once said. We have crazy deep dive to do. This is the end, bro. I had to make this video. So to be clear, there have been quite a few instances of crazy things that happened in the Western world in the last couple of days. Specifically, we've come together, and let's just say this is the death spiral of feminism. So this is the Chancellor of the United Kingdom. All right, she is the Chancellor of the United Kingdom. Okay, I'm sorry. You are not ready for what you are about to witness. And here she is, all right, in the fucking whatever it's called, Parliament.
7%.
And she's just crying!
Our outstanding British Transport Police for everything that they do to support.
She was just sitting there crying for an hour! And everyone's making fun of her, obviously, because people are making fun of her because we have a random woman just sitting there in the Senate just crying. Listen, I personally don't think that's a big deal. Not necessarily a big deal, but people are asking questions. The next clip I wanted to show you that's going viral. This is going viral right now. This is a brand new clip from a couple of days ago. And I think you absolutely have to see it. This is Hollywood actress Charlize Theron. Remember, she is a 49-year-old woman.
With women, it's always like, something must be wrong with her. She can't keep a man. She must be a real bitch. What a cunt. I don't have to run every fucking thing by a guy. I'm having the kind of sex I never had in my 20s or in my 30s. We should be the ones that are like, fuck you. Like, I'm gonna have an orgasm. But I did just recently fuck a 26-year-old, and it was really fucking amazing.
What? None of this is a flex, lady. You are alone. You are going to die alone. What is going on? You make this whole fucking video. I'm so good that I'm alone. I don't have no man around me telling me what to do. I'm 49 having sex with 26-year-olds. It feels so good. She needs God. She does. She needs God ASAP. This is crazy. Now, you know what? Suspiciously and coincidentally enough, I believe this is the correct tab. It's not. I did save that somewhere. It's not here. She has 2 trans children. Statistically, it's an anomaly that she would have 2 trans children. Statistically, because, you know, the rate of people becoming transgender is not super big, especially as children. But she has 2 children that 2 out of 2 are both transgender. This is grooming shit, man. It is. Stop it, bro. If that's not grooming, I don't know what it is. Why the fuck are children becoming trans? Question 1. Question 2. Come on, lady. This is some satanic shit, and it's not working. You are an example of the failure of feminism. Oh my God. Anyway, here's another. We're gonna get back. We're gonna circle back to all of these things. I just need to show you what happened just in the last week alone. This happened 2 days ago. All right, this is Lily Allen. All right, this is her on BBC. All right, this is on the news.
Abortions. I've had a few, but then again, I can't remember exactly how many.
What, really?
Yeah.
Why didn't this come up in last week's episode when we were just talking about abortions?
Because I was just letting you run with it.
Reveal everything.
I can't remember. Yeah, I think maybe like, I want to say 5, 4 or 5.
Yeah, I've had about 5 too. Lily, I'm so happy I can say that. And
this is demonic, bro. This is disgusting. These are fucking harpies. These are actual harpies. Not only are they having abortions, which, I mean, whatever. There's all a current debate, you know, whatever you believe about abortions. I personally think that it's not good to kill babies. Hot take. However, the Moloch is pleased. So let's not forget, at least the Moloch is happy about all of this. You're celebrating? Listen, if you believe that, you know, abortion is not murder, and therefore you think that it's 5 of them, and you're celebrating it, promoting this degeneracy, bro? You wrote a song about it? Babies for the blood throne, holy shit. Now, anyway, it gets worse. It gets worse. So this is another thing that happened in this week. Scarlett Johansson is the #1 highest grossing actress of all time worldwide. This is crazy. You know her from Marvel. You know her from other things. There she is, the highest grossing actress. And she had something of a crash out where she was yelling and screaming about how, The male gaze. The male gaze. It's so sad. Misogyny is so alive. The male gaze. Now, the reason why she's talking about it is because she's old now. And the male gaze are currently males and gazing at other people. Because there are other women that are younger and more attractive. So other people the males are gazing at others. Not gazing at you. Because you're old. All right. Now, to be honest, I'm going to tell you something very controversial. I decided this entire video was going to be all my controversial hot takes in one video. You're a whore. You're a whore. If you think that what you are doing is selling your body to people to stare at you for sex appeal, for money, you're a whore, okay? Now, if you didn't complain about this now, I wouldn't care, because at least you're standing up for your virtues. But if you, all right, if you decided that your content, you are going to be literally just an attractive lady that's naked on camera while people are looking at you for your body, and you know that it's purely sexual and there's this male gaze, but you didn't care. You did not care about it because, you know, you were on the top of the world. You were making your content. People were loving you. All right. You didn't care. Now that you've fallen out of favor because males are gazing at other women, now you care about the male gaze? That's some horse shit. Let me introduce you to Taylor Lorenz. Taylor Lorenz is a journalist that slandered me. Here, I made this tweet saying that the journalist that's glazing Hassan Piker also says that America deserved 9/11. All right, America deserved 9/11. Is a take of this journalist, feminist journalist, supporter of Hassan Piker, another terrorist supporter on Twitch. And she makes this whole thread about me, yelling and ranting and raving. And here at the end, she literally just retweets slander about me. Taku defends the sexualization of underage women. Not true. I'd never do that. That's horrible. And has admitted to watching CSAM. I've never watched CSAM. This is insane. Oh my God. Every flag of all time in the bio based. Now, the craziest thing is, aside from this journalist literally posting slander about me, saying America deserved 9/11 and supporting terrorists, there was recently a very fun debate. All right, so, Piers Morgan, he does like these debate shows where basically he got Taylor Lorenz, all right, everyone's favorite complete psychopath gigafuck terrorist supporting bitch, all right, this absolute degenerate bitch over here. Now the funniest part about this is they have a debate about all of the topics I just showed you, all right? They have a topic about Charlize Theron screaming about how she's so happy she doesn't need no man and that she's having sex with 26-year-olds. They made an entire segment debating about how they don't remember how many abortions they had. They had Scarlett Johansson yelling about the male gaze. And they had female politicians crying in public in England. Now, the reason why I wanted to show this to you is because Piers Morgan, he's a pretty centrist guy, I guess, more liberal dude. He had this guy, Andrew Wilson, who is a definitely right-wing Christian ethicist, I'm pretty sure. Like, he believes in Christian ethics, and he got completely far-left retards like Taylor Lorenz and this guy over here. So, I wanted to show this to you because this is going to be a bloodbath, all right? We are reaching an era where finally feminism is falling out of grace. It's falling out of grace. People don't want to hear this shit anymore. It's obviously failed. It is obviously a complete and utter failure. So I want to watch this right now because I didn't even see it yet. But I promise you in advance, he is going to murder her. And I am here for it. This radical feminist shit is dead. And not only is it dead, but it can't even maintain itself in a conversation anymore. Because I've said this before, I'll say it again. They could come for me. They could cancel me. They've tried. They'll keep trying. But let me make something clear to you. If your cancellation attempts can't stick, and my values will prove to survive while yours die, then realistically, I am immortal. All right, let's go.
Do you understand that I can take things that are happening socially, point to the worst of them, even if I don't agree with them, to use that as an example of why it's bad, why things bad? These libs talk out of both sides of their mouth. Aren't you just basically
the whole intro is just this guy? Oh my God!
Hollywood prostitute?
True! Yes!
Well, gee, who could have predicted this? Who could have predicted that women who are in positions of power may act overtly emotional just based on, well,
oh, yes! Oh, this slanderous piece of shit.
The hormones in their body.
You're like a little petulant child.
Yes or
no? These people just hate facts. They hate facts.
No, yes or no?
God damn, this guy got a blood sports intro. Oh, Lord.
The latest episode of Call Her Daddy.
All right, so I'm just, to make this clear, We're locking in. I am giving you all of my opinions here as well. We are going to be over-analyzing these retards. And in my opinion, nothing shows the complete destruction of a movement when someone could be completely, and utterly not socially acceptable with the things that they say, and politically incorrect in every possible way, promoting conservative values and living and surviving. Oh my God.
He features a lengthy interview with Oscar-winning actress Charlize Theron, entitled I Don't Need a Man. And in it, Miss Theron explains how she reacts to people criticizing her for being a single mum.
I want to just look at them and just be like, do you know how fucking great it is to live exactly how I want to live?
By the fact that you need to say this on your podcast, my opinion is you're a deeply unhappy woman.
To experience motherhood exactly how I wanted to experience it.
A mother of children that have a 42% chance of committing suicide. Good job.
And I know the next thing they say is well, that's not fair on your kids. Can I tell?
Correct. It is not fair on your kids. You absolutely miserable bitch. It is unfair to your kids. It is unfair. A child needs two parents. Statistically, it needs to be a father and a mother. All right, that is a nuclear family, as they say, and that absolutely, statistically, based on complete evidence, backed, researched evidence, that is the healthiest house to raise a child. According to every single statistician on the planet, this is a fact. No matter how hard people try to tell you that new liberal values are better, okay? It is a fact, confirmed by everyone, that a nuclear family is the best. All right? You are cruel to your children.
Tell you something, that will be their story to tell. I can't tell you. I can only tell you that this is the best way that I know how to be a mother to them. And maybe they'll grow up and tell their story, and I will respect.
I'm sure they will. Bro, she has two kids that are both transgender. How did that happen? Is that not grooming?
That.
Well, she also wanted audiences to know how liberating it is for her children not to have a father.
That is a cruel, vindictive bitch. She ruined their life.
I love that I don't have to run every fucking thing by a guy. I love that I don't have to, oh my God, I fucking love that I don't have to do any of that stuff. And my children, we joke. Listen, I think you can tell, this is how I raise my kids. Yeah. Right? We don't hide this shit.
But don't worry.
Great. Hell yeah. You're raising degenerates. Good job.
While Charlize doesn't think husband or father is important in life, she hasn't given up on men altogether.
I found this freedom in my 40s where I'm like, oh my God. So I just want
49.
to say this in perspective. I've probably had 3 one-night stands in my entire life.
Okay.
But I did just recently fuck a 26-year-old, and it was really fucking amazing.
In my opinion, if we switched the genders and you'd have some dude on a podcast, a 49-year-old guy being like, yo, I went out there and I smashed 26-year-old pussy, the feminists would kill themselves. They would kill themselves in protest. They would lose their mind. All right, just to make this clear. All right, they would lose their mind if a man said that, just to be honest.
Fuck yes.
Yes, and I've never done that. And I was like, oh, this is great. Okay.
Why are you so proud of being a degenerate? I don't understand. Why are people so proud of this? Honestly. This whole idea of going out there and sleeping with a whole bunch of people, it's gross, right? It's private. It's your business. You should not be, overtly flaunting things like this. That's just my opinion.
Okay.
Let me just say, that 26-year-old is the luckiest fucking man walking on this goddamn planet. He's walking different today, knowing, oh my God.
He for sure is not, but thank you.
No, he is.
Well, the episode's been viewed by nearly 1 million people so far. Reaction's been divided between those who celebrate Charlize as, quote, a powerful badass.
Fuck yeah, you're a whore. Good job.
Epitome of a strong woman fighting against the
what a strong woman
evil patriarchy, and others who in equally strident language view the whole episode as yet another example of modern feminist media denigrating the role of men at every given opportunity, all of which makes it a good starting point for a lively debate. Well, joining me for this battle of the sexes, host of the Crucible podcast, Andrew Wilson, who I could imagine was visibly shuddering as he listened to those clips. Jedediah Byler, who's the host of the Jedediah Byler Show.
All right, I don't know her.
Commentator and author of the Case for Cancel.
Dude, I love this guy. Every single time I see this guy, it makes me so happy. His name is Ernest. I don't remember his last name, but this dude is the most woke person on the planet. I love this dude. Oh my God.
Gotcha.
He will go out there and he will say the most insane shit. Insane shit, bro. Oh, I love it. I love trans Star Wars.
Into the editor of the User Mag newsletter, Taylor Lorenz. Well,
there she is. When she's not supporting terrorists or slandering me, she's out there defending women having sex with children. I'm sorry, not children. People half their age.
Welcome to all of you. And Jedediah, welcome to you especially because you're making your uncensored debut. We always like debutantes.
All right.
I'm always astonished.
Thank you very much, Piers.
Always astonished when people come back for more. But thank God they do. And thank God Andrew Wilson does. Andrew, your thoughts on Charlize Theron? She doesn't need a man. She likes banging 26-year-olds when she feels like it. You don't need fathers in life. You just need a strong, badass woman.
I'm so happy that we're having this discussion, bro.
You know, it's really funny. The reason nobody cares, really, very much when a 40-year-old attractive woman has sex with some random young man is because it's not impressive.
True! Dude, you don't understand something about men if you think it's impressive. All right? You do not understand something about men. All right? He's completely right. It is the least impressive. Dude, you don't understand. You don't understand. Men will fuck anything.
It's impressive when men can bang young women because most men can't bang young women, but most older women can bang young men. So it's just not an impressive accomplishment.
Yeah, it's also degenerate, all right? Let's not forget. Let's not forget, by the way, all right?
Of course, these are the same women who will screech because, Leonardo DiCaprio decides that he wants to change up at 25 years old, any of the broads he has hanging around. But this is not an impressive accomplishment. All a woman needs to do to get laid is go somewhere where there's men and
is have tits. That's all she needs to do.
Offer it up. It's not the case for men. So it's an unimpressive accomplishment on its face.
So feet-wise, it's not impressive.
As to the rest of what she's saying, this is just normal tripe, right? Her kids are the ones who are going to get punished. They're always the ones who get punished.
Absolutely,
we can look at the data.
Her too, by the way. I just want to make this clear. Her too. They're both going to get punished. The children are going to get punished for growing up in a degenerate household, and she is going to get punished because she's going to die alone. They're both going to get punished. Absolutely. I think it's an incredibly immoral lifestyle that just doesn't end well. That's my opinion. You have the right to another one.
For outcomes on...
Yeah, everyone in my chat is telling me different things about Andrew Wilson right now. I don't know anything about the guy. We're just watching this video.
Children who are raised in single mother homes, it's not good. It's not good for their mental health. It's not... And by the way, the rates of abuse from having strange men around skyrocket. Terrible idea, and it's exactly the wrong kind of propaganda to be pushing.
All right, Taylor Lorenz.
All right, I completely agree.
Just a factual reality of life that women are predominantly happier with a man by their side.
Yeah, that's just a fact.
And children are predominantly better off in life with a present father.
That is also just factually correct. These are just two factual statements.
I think, listen, children are better off in life when they have a loving household, and not all of those
households
have fathers. I mean, there are lesbian...
You're right. They're not all of them have fathers, but the ones with fathers statistically have better children that are happier. Yeah.
Parents, there are different types of arrangements. I think
there are polyamorous families. There are children that grew up on Epstein's Island. I don't hear them complaining about their upbringing. All right, lady, this is not the point. That's literally not the point.
It's important for kids to have...
We don't need men. People are so over this. It's amazing.
Have different figures in their life who they can look up to. And I think it's really important to expose kids to all different types of figures, but that doesn't...
Great, yeah, bring them to pride parades. That's the next step, right? Let's bring them to events where you have adults and their balls hanging out.
Have to be, that doesn't have to be like a man, a cisgender man that's standing around.
A cisgender man, she's hitting all the notes. Oh Lord, she's insufferable.
All the time. There's plenty of terrible fathers out there too. So,
wait. So a kid shouldn't have a father because there are some terrible fathers out there? Actual retard moment.
Yeah, I think it's great that the child is growing up in a loving household, and hopefully, she'll expose the child to lots of different types of...
Yeah, but can you acknowledge that we have now been studying this phenomenon of single motherhood for years and years and years, and that the outcomes for children of single mothers tend to be terrible in comparison to the
That is a fact. This is just a fact, by the way.
Outcomes of children without them. Can you just acknowledge that that is true?
So this is an undeniable fact, all right? Like, for example, the crime rates of children that grew up in a single mother household without a father present, the crime rates of those children are way higher. So many more of them go to jail. Like, this is an undisputable fact.
So I think what you're talking about...
Answer the fucking question, bitch!
Are studies
I'm asking a question. Don't run from the question.
Oh, God, I love this guy already. I love him already. Don't let her run, bro.
No, you can.
Are
I
you
want
gonna
you to
let-
acknowledge with a yes or no, then a qualifier. Yes or
are you
no,
gonna-
isn't it true that outcomes
That
for
is
children when they're raised by single mothers tend to be worse than those with a mother and a father in the house? Yes or no, then give me your answer.
This is a fact, yeah.
Sure.
Answer the question.
So I'd love to respond if you
Okay.
stop
Answer.
talking over me.
Right, go ahead.
Anyway, most single mothers are not Charlize Theron with millions and millions and millions of dollars. So when you look at studies like that, a lot of it has to do with the
So yes. So her answer is yes. Yes. Because so many single mothers are poor. That's what she's saying. Yes. Okay, so great.
economic
I'm
opportunities
glad we've acknowledged that.
that a lot of
Right.
single mothers have.
Right.
You know, women make less than men as a whole. They're subject to more sexism and
Oh my god. Oh god.
discrimination.
Oh my freaking god, dude. Oh, leave that shit in 2020. We are in 2025. We don't need to deal with listening to this anymore. Oh my god. And there's no discrimination against men in society. None. When a woman could just ruin his life by fucking accusing him of some shit on social media. Listen, there's absolutely sexism. There's absolutely misogyny. There's absolutely misandry. It all exists. But you can't do this, bro. This isn't gonna work anymore.
So it can often be more challenging for them to raise
So
a
yes.
child alone.
So the answer is yes.
Yeah.
No, the answer is Charlize
That
Theron.
sounds like
is
you just said that the answer
average-
is yes. The
Yeah.
answer, according to
for
you
any
just
single
now, is
parent.
yes.
No, any single
And then you just
parent.
make excuses for it. You're like, yeah, but
Taylor,
so
this
just
is
because
not-
women are.
Now this is so weird. You're
What's
like,
weird? He asked you a question and you refuse to answer it. This is the least weird thing I've ever seen. He asked you a yes or no question.
like shouting at
Well,
me.
do you know what it
Yeah,
is?
no.
God, he's shouting at me.
I'm not
Okay, let's
shouting
bring.
at
Hang
you,
on.
I'm
Time
talking
out.
to you.
Time out.
100 women versus accountability challenge. Impossible level. This is crazy.
Let's bring in Jedediah.
Taylor, this is not rocket science. First of all, you lost me at cis male. You just meet a guy, just a man, right? We don't need all these terms, these nonsensical, ridiculous terms that, you know, modern leftists have come up with. It's just a man. Children do better when there is a mom
Oh,
and there is a dad.
Lord.
And the reason is that men and women are completely different. They bring very
True.
different things to the table.
True.
And children need the role model of a mom and a dad, not just people around. Sure, you can have aunts, you can have uncles, you can have friends, but we're talking about the two individuals that are raising a children. And let me just ask.
Oh my fucking god. This is so gold that this is actually a conversation that's having, by the way, to make this clear. You have to let me teach you something. Let me teach you something about reality. This conversation would not have happened a year ago. This conversation can only exist in the cultural zeitgeist of today. Okay? That is literally beautiful. Beautiful. Oh my, yeah, this is how you know feminism is cooked. When these conversations can happen and the feminists look like complete retards.
Ask you this question. Wait, I'm not done yet. You complained that Andrew interrupted you and now you just interrupted me. I'm not done yet.
All right.
Charlize Theron, you're right. She is rich. She has a ton of money. But what example do you think she's sending to young women everywhere that this is somehow empowering?
She's cooking.
That you should strive. By the way, you should strive to be the single mom because you don't have to deal with a guy.
She's
you
right.
don't have to
She's
answer
cooking.
to a man. Oh, isn't that so wonderful? And guess who'll pay the price? My kid. She even says, my kids can tell their story. How unbelievably selfish of her to say.
Completely
my
true.
children will one day to get to tell a story that they had no father because I decided that I just wanted to do this myself. Me.
Completely true. What an unbelievably selfish bitch. Now, I have an opinion. You could disagree with this opinion, of course. Once you have children, once you have made the moral decision to bring children into this world, they are now your number one priority. And every single thing, every single decision you make in your life that puts anything in the world above your children is immoral and reprehensible. So if someone doesn't want to have a man tell her what to do and literally sacrifice her children for it, that is evil fucking shit.
Me, myself, and my money. Is that the message
wanted
that
to
we
go
should
hump
be sending to young
26-year-olds.
women?
They're lesbians. They shouldn't be able to raise children.
What about lesbians? What about lesbians?
You need a man. What about women that
We're
raise
not
children?
talking about Taylor. No one said what
Talking
should
about
be
single
allowed. I'm not
moms.
talking about.
Well, tell you what I
legal.
find. Tell you what I find strange. What I find strange is I know Charlize a bit when she was dating Sean Penn, and thought she was very nice, but she was always very elegant. If you interviewed her,
Not anymore, because now it's epic for women to go out there and talk about their conquests of 26-year-old cock.
whole thing was high-end, elegant, you know, all the highest-end advertising and so on. And then you see her there in this podcast, and she's like effing and blinding, talking about banging 26-year-olds. Very, very different, Ernest, to this.
Honestly, massive degradation. She's out, again, this is the grift, right? She can't be elegant anymore and still get views on her, right? People aren't going to be paying attention to her anymore if she's just elegant, all right? It's not going to work. It's not gonna work. She used to be an actress that people would look at because she was, you know, younger, right? Hoflation is real, bro. I'm sorry. And she still needs to have that attention on her. Instead of raising her children in a normal house, she needs to have these podcast moments where she is the token feminist out there talking about feminism. And you know how cool she is, that she's feminism is great, and she sleeps with everyone. Wow.
The Charlize Theron, I thought I knew. I'm not saying it's good, bad, or whatever, but I do wonder if it was a male movie star sitting on a sofa, brazenly boasting.
Yeah, could you imagine a male movie star? I'm sure that this isn't what I'll let him finish, and then I'll say what I'm going to say, because there's no way he's going to be as politically incorrect as I'm about to be.
Thing about banging 26-year-olds. How old is Charlene?
Yeah, all right. It's not about that. If there would be a dude that was sitting on a couch and be like, yeah, I'm 50. I just smashed 26-year-old pussy. And not only that, I don't need no wife. Imagine a woman just nagging you all the time. Ugh, disgusting. So I immediately divorced that hoe. And now I'm raising my 2 trans children all by myself. Absolutely. I immediately divorced her. Imagine having a nagging. Ugh, disgusting. That is exactly what she said on her podcast. And it's gross.
Charlize?
And everyone would make fun of him for it. Because this is obviously somebody that, to be honest, this is obviously somebody who is putting themselves and their podcast and their sexual conquests over her own children. And that's a bitch.
50. If a 50-year-old male star was boasting about banging 26-year-old girls, right, and he was boasting about not needing a woman in his life, not needing a mother, all these kind of things, but in reverse, I don't think you'd be approving of this, Ernest.
They do it all the time. A lot of older men do it all the time on media, on social media.
I love Ernest. I love this guy. You see, they're both like mega woke, but she's also like, she slanders me. She doxed libs of TikTok. She supports terrorists. This guy is just mega woke. Oh my God.
In interviews, it's not actually an uncommon thing. I think the reason why there's a lot of actual shock and awe over Charlize Theron, because a lot of women actually her age don't feel the liberty to do that on a public facing platform. And so
great. Yes, fantastic. Women should, or men, people should not be proud at, you know, to go out on your podcast as a 50-year-old and talk about and flex about smashing pussy and all that stuff. You're right. People should not be proud of that. Correct.
So that's why we're talking about her. We don't talk about men who do it often on here because it's so norm. I mean, if you look at who's in politics currently right now, they were just doing it their entire career before they got to the White House. So it's not that much of a...
She's scared to say Trump's name.
You know, there's a guy who got elected president.
Yeah, and you screamed bloody murder.
They literally wrote so many articles and like a great example. Trump is such a good example, dude. They literally criticized Trump endlessly for marrying a woman that was much younger than him or whatever. Endless criticism of that guy.
And got elected.
Like, dude, they called him a misogynist forever. They said you demean women. They did all of that stuff with Trump. Everything.
And so...
And he screamed bloody murder about it. What are you talking about? Hang on. You liberals said that was the most horrible thing. He was a terrible role model. How could he? And here's Charlize Theron is saying this, and you're like, she's an empowered boss babe, Andrew. Come on.
See, if I talk over him, Piers Morgan tell me to be quiet and get
You were done talking, dude. You were done talking.
Come on,
no, I wasn't talking actually. Can I actually?
Okay, all right. Everyone, be quiet. Gay man speaking.
You can, Ernest. Yeah.
Okay, thanks. So what I was getting at is that there is a double standard. And I think, honestly, like I said before, I don't know what liberal he's talking about, but I was not a liberal that said that Trump talking about grab her by the pussy was the worst thing he ever said, because there's a lot of other things he has said that I believe is far worse and actually should cause more attention.
Okay.
But that being said, I just feel like the only reason why we're talking about it is because women like Charlize Theron often don't do this on a normal. So it feels...
Yes, because it's gross. Yes, because it's degenerate.
Abnormal, and that's why we're discussing it.
Okay,
Ernest,
Andrew.
Why do these libs talk out of both sides of their mouth? I mean, look at it. She refused to acknowledge the outcomes for single moms, pivots immediately.
I'm not a lib. I'm a terrorist. All right? Don't get us confused, okay? I'm not a lib. Dude, leftists hate being called liberals because the leftists, they're way further than just liberals, okay? You don't understand. Like, this is calling a leftist a liberal, that's horrible, because she is a straight up communist terrorist supporter, okay? She's not a lib.
I mean, look at it.
I'm not liberal. I'm progressive.
She refused to acknowledge the outcomes for single moms immediately.
Let's be clear.
Immediately.
No.
Hang on.
No.
Immediately.
No.
Yeah.
Oh my God, unbelievable.
Look, I'm sorry. If you have progressive talking points, if it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, I call it a duck. So the thing is, right, the libs on the panel very clearly, right, she evades the answer, refuses to give us the answer of if outcomes for children of single moms are worse, refuses, gives us a bunch of qualifiers proving that they are, still refuses to do it. He says, well, this is so commonplace for men. Look at the sexual deviant that we have in the White House, and says, but I'm not throwing a fit about that. I'm not throwing a fit about that, though. Yeah, you think a fit about it.
Ineffective discussion. This man is just.
This man is talking over everyone. Oh, this man.
Like, he's very emotional.
It's an ineffective
right
discussion. I would like you, I would just like you to actually answer the questions I asked you.
Damn.
Why can't you people ever do that?
I have a question.
Anymore, I guess. Go ahead. Sorry.
Ernest, you said there was a second.
Bro, they're trying to get Pierce upset that they're getting destroyed. They're getting obliterated. And they're just like, you're emotional. You're talking over everybody. They had not one word of value to share.
Guys, Ernest, you said there was a double standard. What are you, in your view, where is the double standard? Because I see a double standard here, but I think we see a different double standard.
Hey, Taylor, can you close your mouth? It's really weird.
Cool. So what I was saying was the double standard reaction, right? There is a lot of reaction because of what Charlize Theron said. I'm saying that I understand where that is coming from, because we don't often see women like Charlize Theron on these platforms talking about their sexuality in this way.
But it's celebrated. Ernest, that's not true. But here's the difference. Every time hold on a second. Every time a man says, a guy can't even say that he prefers younger women.
Oh, true.
He can't even say, well, you know what? I prefer younger women because of their fertility is better, because they're in their peak attractiveness, because I want to.
Why are they all they all roll their eyes when she says that? What do you think? Why is that like a bad thing?
Have a bunch of kids and it gives me more time without getting trashed.
Why is everyone freaking out about this? Holy shit. Why are you people so pathetic?
Hey, hang on. Let's be clear. If Brad Pitt came out with an interview tomorrow on Uncensored, and I hope he does. If you're watching Brad, my show is always available to you. But if he was, and he said, do you know what? Just only last week, I had the most unbelievable sex with a hot 26-year-old, right? Do you think the reaction, Ernest, would have been widespread applause for this guy? Or would it have been, you dirty old man? No. I'm not saying that I feel that about Charlize Theron. I'm just saying
He's this fucking loser. He keeps trying to catch himself every single time. I'm saying that about Charlize Theron. I think it's gross. I think it's gross when Andrew Tate says it, and even though he's a man, all right? Listen, Andrew Tate's a man, but when he goes on there and saying, yeah, I'm smashing 16-year-old pussy, I think that guy's fucking disgusting. I really do. He's gross. I think it's always gross. Why are these people so overly flaunting shit like this?
The double standard. Right? Leo DiCaprio gets mocked at.
So I hate this for two reasons. One, the double standard is disgusting. And two, it is inherently disgusting. Oh my God.
Every award show because he dates women half his age.
Men are subject to ageism. Oh my God, this is her defense.
Charlize Theron, everyone's like, oh, this is amazing.
Here's
a man would have been called a groomer.
I can give you an example where that backfired. So let me be very clear. So let me give you a good example of this.
All right, we're ready. I love
First of all, it's if it's a pattern, right? Charlize Theron is not doing this on the regular. That's why this is a big.
She literally just said she had 4 one-night stands.
News story. She's been mostly in long-term relationships. She does not have a habit of doing this. Leonardo DiCaprio's entire a lot of his romantic history has been this pattern, which has become a running joke.
Who cares?
The first couple years.
If it's okay, it's okay. If it's not okay, it's not okay. Who cares?
She did it. No one cared. But it's been decades, like over
Ernest,
10 years.
That's not why it's a news story. With respect, first of all, both of those things have been covered in the news. But the reason, what Pierce is getting at, I think, I don't want to put words in his mouth. This is being celebrated. Do you understand the difference? Modern feminism has made it that we now celebrate.
That's right. Modern feminism means we are celebrating whores. That's right, baby. Absolutely. Ruin your life, become a whore. And everyone will respect you. All these men they'll love you. Absolutely. Yes, sir. And it's gross. It's disgusting. And it's destroying an entire generation.
That's Charlize Theron. And by the way, I don't give a lick, honestly. It's consensual. I don't care if she sleeps with a 26-year-old.
And by the way, there are a lot of 26-year-old men who will be absolutely thrilled that she's on the cougar
That's
market.
correct.
I mean,
right.
there will be.
And I don't
All
care
right.
either. We can agree there. But I'm smart enough to acknowledge that she is being celebrated for that action, whereas a Leonardo DiCaprio, or the average guy for that matter, just saying, hey, I prefer a 22-year-old to a 32-year-old, will get destroyed in every possible media.
Yeah, I think she's right. A lot of it is the social pressure of it all, right? It's the whole social idea that when women come out as degenerates, they're celebrated, and when men come out as degenerates, they're criticized. But I think there's another part on top of that. This whole whore celebration that's going on in America is disgusting. It absolutely is gross. It is gross, right? We're on the same page. It's not good. It's not good for men. It's not good for women. It's not good for anyone. Feminism is all about respecting ourselves and becoming whores. Come on, dude.
Well, I actually have no problem with what she said about a 26-year-old. That's entirely down to her. She's a single woman. She can have sex with who the hell she likes, consenting an adult. I do though have a...
No, dude. I love how this guy is saying right a million times. This dude is saying right a million times. Like, there isn't a double standard. And, like, it's not... I disagree with Piers, by the way. I think it's not good for someone to be going out there promoting a promiscuous lifestyle where they're sleeping around, prioritizing their sex life over their children, and saying, I don't need no man. I'm going to raise my 2 trans kids as wonderful contributing members of society. I do think that there's a problem there. And I do think that putting that lifestyle on a silver platter is destructive.
Problem with, and Andrew was, I think, right about this. In a way, what she's saying is all your quaint ideas about you need a bloke around, you need a father, you need a husband, that's all bullshit. Look at me. I'm proof it's all great. I don't believe women when they say that. I don't believe men when they say the same thing. I just think that actually the ideal is that you have a man and woman around kids and they bring them up together. And if that isn't possible,
he's right,
and it
What
doesn't
about him?
work out, okay, you make it work. But to actually try and pretend this...
Bro, the fact that you don't understand how crazy it is that this is like basic television right now. You don't understand how insane it is, how absolutely mind-blowing it is that you could say things like that. Normal statements! Normal freaking common sense basic bitch statements everyone's known forever. And they are losing their mind over it!
This is actually utopia, and this is the best possible thing for your kids. I don't think that's true. And I say that as a divorcee myself. I don't think this is ever actually the ideal, but you make it work as best you can. I wanted to switch gears to something which really did annoy me. Lily Allen.
All right, on to the next bitch.
Pop star, former pop star, accurate. Talking about abortion.
Abortions. I've had a few, but then again, I can't remember exactly how many.
What, really?
Yeah.
Why didn't this come up in last week's episode where we were just talking about abortions?
Because I was just letting you run with it.
Reveal everything.
I can't remember. Yeah, I think maybe I want to say 4 or 5.
Yeah, I've heard about 5 too. Lily, I'm so happy I can say that, and you can say it, and no one came to shoot us down.
No judgment.
No judgment.
Yes, judgment.
And we've had about the same amount of abortions.
You know what, Taylor?
It's fucking crazy, dude. It is what happened to Shane, bro? Holy shit. That is fucking horrible. Actually demonic. Unreal.
I'm not going to judge them in the way they think I'm going to judge them.
You know who is going to be judging them? God!
I'm not going to judge them for having abortions. I believe in a woman's right to choose what she does with her body. I know. And
Yeah!
we'll come to Andrew's position on that. I think we know what it is, and I'll get your view. But the point is, Taylor, I'm not against abortion. I am against women that talk about it so glibly.
Why? See, I personally hate fence sitters. Okay, I hate fence sitters. I really do. Piers Morgan is the professional fence sitter. He will always have the correct opinion. Unbelievable. Let me explain something to you. If it's murder, it's bad. If it's not murder, then why do you care if they're promoting it? Let's be real. Come on, dude. Come on, dude. Say it. Say it with your whole heart. If they are doing something wrong, then they shouldn't be proud of it. If they're not doing anything wrong, all right? If they're not doing anything wrong, then why shouldn't they say it? Come on, bro. Come on, Pierce. Don't be a pussy about it.
I am against 2 women sitting there just brazenly talking in a very kind of slightly boastful way. We've had 10 abortions between us. And Lily Allen can't even remember how many abortions she's
Come on, Andrew. Push back.
had.
Ask
I
him
don't
why.
like that aspect to what was going on there. I think it's distasteful. I think it trivializes abortion. Abortion, whether you agree with it or not, you should always treat it, I think, as a serious thing, which should be taken seriously and dealt with seriously. That to me was trivializing it. Your thought?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Who gets 5 abortions, bro? Unreal levels of foddery. Unbelievable. Like, dude, there's birth control. There's protection. There are morning after pills. Like, there are so many reasons. There are so many ways to not get to that point. To have 5 abortions, bro? Unbelievable.
Thoughts?
Yeah, I think that, I hear you, Piers, and I take your point. I think that most women have a struggle with access to abortion, especially now here in America. And I think.
What? What are you talking about? What are you saying? Oh my God.
Oh my God, people have trouble for abortion here in America. Here we're in America, it's horrible.
How many abortions happened in America in 2024? Actual fucking delusional retard, disgusting bitch. All right, an estimated 1 million abortions. Okay, I'm glad we're on the same page. Get the fuck out of here.
I think that normalizing the idea of having abortion is overwhelmingly a good thing.
This is horrible, man. This is gross. Could we please push back on this immediately? Oh my God, this is crazy.
The idea of having 5 abortions with 2 women there basically
We should normalize it as much as we can.
making out, oh, thank God we can talk about this now. Like, this is normal. That's not normal to have 5 abortions.
It should be normal to have easy access to abortion. It should be.
I don't dispute that, but that's a political matter. That's a social matter for the women. But it's the way you talk about it, I think, is actually, for example, in America, where it's a really hot potato issue, I can imagine everyone, I'll come to Andrew for what I think will be his response. I can imagine it.
Big surprise that the lady that wants to globalize the intifada is very excited that is upset that only 1 million abortions happened in 2024. Ah, hell yeah, dude. Unreal, dude. Like, this is so disgusting. Listen, I don't know, man. This is gross shit. It really is. Look, the way I see it, if the mother's life is in danger, you absolutely should abort. If the mother's life is not in danger, you should not abort. This is my opinion. You don't have to have the same opinion. You have every right to not have that same opinion. This is my opinion. But yeah, this is gross. It's so gross. Oh, we should normalize it. We should so normalize it, guys.
Be very angry because he doesn't agree with abortion to start with. To then see women high profile.
Abortion is not birth control. This is insane.
Women like this, famous women, just talking about it in such a glib manner.
Want to restrict because they want to restrict women's rights and they want to restrict women's access to healthcare. This is essential. Abortion is.
What the fuck are you talking about? Access to healthcare, restrict women's rights, dude. What are you talking about, bro? What about the women that are getting killed in the uterus? Right? What about those women? Right? Do you care about? 1 million abortions happen. That's 500,000 women that you do not care about. All right? Oh my God.
Essential healthcare. And that's what you're saying, but
healthcare, my asshole. Yeah, healthcare, motherfucker. Listen, you got pregnant, right? You could have taken the morning after pill, even if you were raped, which is a horrible situation. You could have taken the morning after pill, right?
It is healthcare, yes, and it's really important.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, it's only healthcare if the mother's life is in danger, which is super fucking rare.
It's not ridiculous. It saves women's lives in many cases to have an abortion, and it's really hard for women to get access. And they feel a lot of.
It's so rare. Oh my God. Let me grab the stats on this. What % of abortions in America are done due to the life of the mother being in jeopardy? This is crazy, dude. My guess is less than 1%. That's my guess right now. I'm just guessing it right now. Let's see. 1 to 3%. All right, 1 to 3%. Great. So that means 970,000 of the abortions were not done because the life of the mother was threatened.
Shame around it because of.
Oh, never mind. Hold on. Wait. I should have let Grok finish. The reasonable estimate of the data is 0.1 to 3%. 0.123%. Great. All right.
The social stigma.
Does it sound, Taylor, does it sound to you like those women feel a lot of shame around abortion? Is that what it sounds like?
The point is that many women are taught, and it sounds like you guys on this very panel want women to feel shame about it. And in fact, they should not.
You shouldn't be. Should you be proud of it? Is the point. I mean, let me bring Andrew.
People are gross, bro.
In here. I mean, Andrew, I know your position on abortion, but notwithstanding that, it doesn't really concern me really whether people are for or against it. It's the way they're talking about it. I find. So let's.
Why? See, She thinks that abortion is fine. It could be used as birth control. I think that's gross. All right? But that's her opinion, and she's consistent about her opinion. Pierce is such a flip-flopper. He is such a flip-flopper, it's unbelievable. If it's a bad thing, then you should feel shame. If it's not a bad thing, then you shouldn't feel shame. All right? And you are somehow trying to have your cake and eat it too. I think they should feel shame, for the record.
Yeah,
let's leave the argument about whether they...
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
But it's totally self-centered and selfish. And look, she says, I'm not a lib. Women need to have more abortions. The thing is or I have more access to abortions.
Yeah, I think Andrew Wilson doesn't understand. She's not a lib because she's way more left. She's way more left. She is a straight-up communist terrorist supporter.
Her teeth. It's a healthcare procedure. Most women's lives, when they have abortions, has nothing to do with the life of them at all, their physical health at all. Total lies from the left. On top of that, let's just point out that what they're really doing there is they're sitting there going, I just like totally murdered 5 of my kids. And the other one's like, yeah, me too. Isn't that great, sweetheart? The other one's like, yeah, totally. That's it's so awesome that we can just kill our children. Isn't that great? And so we normal people, we normal people here.
Can you shut up, lady? He's talking.
So anyway, we
listen to this disgusting misogyny. And you know what? Those words would have such an effect a couple of years ago. But fuck, it's gonna do nothing today. You could scream, you could cry, you could yell. This is how you know the movement's dead. This is how you know the movement's dead, when you can't cancel somebody for being based.
We normal people hear this, like regular Joes, and of course we're disgusted by it.
Yeah.
The fact of the matter is it just shows a complete and total lack of caring for humanity, lack of caring for children. This is supposed to be the more empathetic sex, and yet when they have power over vulnerable life, they kill it? Really? You're going to convince me that's the more
Holy shit, he's going hard.
empathetic?
Murder. Wait,
Sex? Give me a break.
It's not murder.
Great argument. It's not murder. Great argument. Fantastic argument.
One little
Listen, Taylor Lorenz. I know that obviously you complain about Israel's actions in Gaza. Think about it this way. It's just a 94th term abortion, all right? A lot of 94th term abortions are happening. It's literally, okay, it's going too far. I'm cooking a little bit too hard. But she is so insufferable, it's unbelievable.
I think for me, it's just 2 things, right? I think that we can...
It's birth control, as they say. No, but it's disgusting watching these people make these arguments.
Some people will feel like the way in which she went about discussing it was tasteless. I think that for people listening to it, I did. I think that there's a better, in my personal taste, right? I think there could have been a better way she could have said it, but that's just my personal preference.
Why?
And I think that's just how she is with a lot of things. Lily Allen, I don't agree with a lot of things that Lily Allen says or how she says it personally. And I think that's the real thing here. However, what I think is important is that everybody's getting abortions. This whole libs, far left, far right stuff, I really get annoyed with that because it's almost as if you're acting like only one, like everybody makes decisions based on their political ideologies. And that's
what the fuck is this guy even talking about, bro?
It's just so immature. And this obsession.
We can look at
libs.
We can look at the reproductive stats, and we know.
Leftists have more abortions than right-wing people. Like this isn't statistic. This is like a fact, bro. Like I don't know why he's like, why are you politicizing it? It literally is a fact.
Which political parties advocating for abortion? And which one? We know which political parties advocating for it, which one's not.
Extremists, I don't come with that. Like I'm just saying, it's not for me. This is not a libs thing or whatever. It's really just a matter of taste. And that's what
how could it not be a liberal?
Let Jedediah speak. Jedediah.
How could it?
I'm telling you, that's why I love this guy, because he will go out there and he will have the worst take imaginable. Like, you don't understand. This guy's opinions are so bad. I can't even, I have a good imagination. I'll be real. I can't even come up with takes as bad as this guy. It's incredible.
If liberals are the ones, I mean, just be honest, liberals are the ones that are promoting a pro-abortion culture. Liberals are the ones that are saying this should be celebrated. The word here, Ernest, hold on a second. The word here to be used is these women are celebrating abortions. And you see young women all over TikTok, by the way, and all over social media who are echoing these voices now.
True, by the way, this is true. You have people going and publishing that, hey, look at me, I had an abortion, I'm so cool. And everyone's like, oh my God, I'm so proud of you. That's gross, bro. That is so disgusting. It's unreal. Oh my God.
So an abortion is something, whether you believe it was supposed to be safe, legal, and rare.
True.
That was the idea when people were advocating back in the day. Pro-abortion advocates were saying safe, legal, and rare. Does this sound rare to you? Oh, every time I have sex, I just run and get an abortion like I went to the dentist.
Healthcare shouldn't be rare. Healthcare shouldn't be rare. Access to healthcare.
Taylor, no one's talking about.
This is not healthcare. Oh my God.
Access.
They just say their talking points again and again. Oh my Lord.
No, you have access to a whole bunch of things in society. That doesn't mean you utilize them. These are women that are going
when you
like guns, right?
Abortion.
Yeah, like guns. Guns are awesome. I was gonna call him gay, but then I remembered that. Okay.
And when you stigmatize abortion, it leads to less abortion access.
Murder? When you stigmatize murder, it leads to less murder?
Yeah, but actually...
Wow. Oh, yeah, that sounds pretty good. That sounds good. Yeah, let's stigmatize that shit immediately.
Taylor, that argument works the other way, because if you trivialize it and you look like you're slightly gleeful and you're very proud of having had 5 abortions, as both of them appeared to come over, and that's just the way we can judge them from that clip. They said, don't be judgmental. Well, actually you can be when people are apparently trivializing it in the way they were. But I think my point is that the reason Andrew is so exercised is not just because he's anti-abortion, but here's exactly what he's been saying for a long time, which is a lot of women treat it like it's just another thing, when actually it's more serious. And I agree with that. Even though I support women's rights to have an abortion, no one should be like proud or gleeful or joyful or celebratory about it. It should. I just think the tone you use to talk about it.
What are we gonna do with this guy? Pierce, I feel like he doesn't really have values. He just kind of echoes the opinion. It's crazy. He just kind of like echoes the correct opinion at any given time. I feel like this dude literally has no values. It's crazy. He's like, listen, it's shameful, and we shouldn't talk about it or be proud about it, but also at the same time, hang on, I'm talking, hang on. However, we should have it, and we should do it, and whenever we want, and we should never hold anyone back. Hang on, don't interrupt, hang on. Now, like, dude, this is crazy.
It should be serious.
Stigmatized.
Like, bro, you don't understand. This dude is the Ludwig of political commentary.
Can you understand how that stigmatizing sort of framework would be used to restrict access to abortion? Saying,
oh my God, stop being such a pussy. What is going on? I don't understand. Bro, women don't become pregnant through magic. Okay, listen, I know that this is adult content, all right? If any children that didn't have the talk with their parents yet, please leave the room. How do you think this happens? How do you think this happens, bro?
You're not, pious enough. You haven't repented.
She's making a good point, though. She's making a good point. Stigmatizing it would actually be kind of great if you think about it.
Enough. You're not sorry enough, so you don't deserve access. That is what is used to strip women.
You think women should be apologizing in order to get access to abortions? You think that every woman that wants an abortion should need to publish an apology video on YouTube?
Women's
Taylor,
right.
It should be stigmatizing. It should be stigmatizing for women to talk about abortion like that. This is sick. This is your empowered women now out there saying, oh, I don't know. I had 4 abortions, 5 abortions, 6.
Bro, dude, wait. Hold up a second. I'm realizing something a little dark. I'm realizing something a little bit dark right now. Wait, hold up. All right, so, modern feminism violates how many of the 10 commandments? All right, so, thou shalt have no other gods before me. All right, whatever. They don't believe in any of that. Thou shalt not make graven images. All right, so they don't believe in any of that. Thou shalt not take the name of thy Lord in vain. All right, they just literally quote Jesus and God and whatever all the time. Sabbath, they don't keep the Sabbath. Honor thy father and thy mother. They don't even believe in having a father and a mother anymore. Oh, thou shalt not kill. Oh, thou shalt not commit adultery. Oh, thou shalt not steal. They're all fucking communists. What is happening? Thou shalt not bear false witness. Oh my God, thou shalt not covet. This is diabolical.
Abortions like you went for a root canal.
You go,
I mean,
girl.
listen, this is not the face of an empowered woman. This is pathetic. It's sad, and this is the product. Sorry to say, this is the product of modern feminism and what it has done to women. That now they weaponize their ability to kill. Because that's my view, so I'm going to say it. They weaponize their ability to kill, and they expect society to put a big stamp of approval on it. And people like you do. I'm not doing it. I'm not condoning it. I'm not doing it. I'm calling it out. And if they feel stigmatized by their behavior, then so be it. Maybe that has more to do with their behavior, their crappy behavior, their sick, twisted behavior than it does by what I'm saying about it.
Okay.
You're so judgmental. Oh my God. Why are you so judgmental? You shouldn't be judgmental.
These people are so retarded, bro. These people are so retarded, man. What are we even doing, bro? What are we doing with these people? Yes, I'm judgmental. Absolutely. Why should I not be judgmental? God is judgmental. All right, why shouldn't I be judgmental when I think someone's doing something wrong? This is absolutely insane. And you think you're not judgmental? Dude, if someone says the word retard, you crash out. You're not judgmental? You called me a fucking pedophile on Twitter, Taylor Lorenz. Mrs. Not Judgmental? Mrs. Not Judgmental over here tweets this, says that I defend sexualization of underage women and watch CSAM. Mrs. Non-Judgmental? Call me a pedophile on Twitter? What are we talking about? Unbelievable. Judgmental for me, but not for thee. Oh, hell yes. Oh my god. Shout out to Psalm 139:13. Shout out to for you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. Anyway, whatever. Whatever. They don't care.
Wait. I just want to say this real quick. Let's be real honest here. Even if you personally do not support abortion, you really think that it's a murder, there would be no way, quite frankly, that you want anyone to discuss it. So I think it's intellectually dishonest to act as though we're going to use this extreme of Lily Allen, which I do agree, right? I personally think that the way that Lily Allen discussed it was not the best way. But to be honest, for those who do not support abortion, which I do support a woman's right to choose, there would have never been a way for you to approve it. So you're using the most extreme example as a way to now double down.
I love this guy. I told you before. He's amazing. He will have arguments worse than, you can't even dream arguments worse than this guy. How dare you talk about this bad thing when you think other things are bad too? There's literally a genocide happening, and you're talking about me?
Now and justify every other belief that you have on this.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
I love this guy. I love him, bro. I love him.
Talk about money all the time. What are you talking about?
So why are we talking about Lily Allen?
Yeah, so what? We talk about...
Why are we talking about a girl that's glazing herself for getting 5 abortions when you actually don't think abortions are good in general? What?
Things we don't support all the time. What are you talking about?
This is crazy. Piers Morgan, you're not allowed to talk about things that you don't support. Why are you talking about this when you don't support it? What? What is going on?
Understand. So let's make common sense. Pierce and I both, I assume, support a woman's right to choose. I don't know, but I think we do. We both do not agree about the taste of how Lily Allen did it. However,
this guy is so into the taste.
I think for some of you all on this episode, you're not going to ever agree with this. So stop acting like Lily Allen is an example of all women who discuss having abortions, because it's not true. You just want to use it as an example to dismiss the case of abortions, period. And so that's the
that's so
reality.
I see. Hang on, let me respond. I see. What a genius argument. Yes, Andrew, you think that all murder and murderers are bad, so you're going to point at serial killers and say, see how bad that is?
He killed himself. But you think murder is bad and you're making fun of serial killers?
Great argument, genius.
No,
we would have never.
What a
Oh my god, he's name calling. This is the greatest fucking battle of all time. I love this so much. Oh my god, this is a name calling. Oh Lord.
What's the
argument? So clearly it's
They haven't responded.
Because the argument itself is so retarded.
good because you have zero.
And this is coming from the lady that doesn't respond to anything.
That was the argument. Do you understand that I can take things that are happening socially, point to the worst of them, even if I don't agree with them, to use that as an example of why it's bad. Why thing bad? Thing bad because look, you can see that why thing bad. Why do you not get this?
Right now. You're
crashing out.
This is an extreme example.
This is the whole you're crashing out. Are you okay? Are you mentally okay?
They never liked abortion. They never.
Whether you like abortion, whether you
45-year-old lady saying that somebody's crashing out because he has to explain basic math.
support abortion or not, we're not making up this extreme example. This
is a real case.
Extreme example exists, and we're commenting on it because there were women all over the country, by the way, that will say things like, my body, my choice, who cares? Oh yeah, and you know what? It's escalating down to other things like Plan B. People popping Plan Bs like candy now. This stuff is not being taken seriously. And the bottom is, whether you support abortion or not, this is a serious matter. And the fact that we have women out there talking about it like a trip to the dentist, that is a problem that we need to acknowledge.
Yeah, I gotta say.
She's spitting.
I have to say, I agree with that. I don't think that the way they spoke about it did them any credit at all. And I think it actually, if I was somebody who was against abortion, that would have really enraged me to see people who have access to free and fair abortions because they're in a country where it's fine. But they talk about it in such a glib manner. I don't like it. Let's just change.
Dude, she is so mad. It's amazing.
To something else, which is just struck me as a bit odd. So I think Taylor, you said earlier that women, about Charlize Theron, women don't get paid as much as men. In fact, it's just been revealed by the Hollywood.
All right, here we go. We're getting into Scarlett Johansson.
Reporter, the Hollywood Bible, that the biggest grossing movie star ever is Scarlett Johansson, which I'm told, staggering though that may seem, and I'm a bit surprised myself because I've appeared in 10 movies as myself, and those movies have grossed $2.4 billion. So I'm a little surprised I'm not in the mix myself. However, she's bigger than Tom Cruise, bigger than Stallone, bigger than Schwarzenegger, bigger than all of them. And the reason apparently is the Avengers. She's been in the whole stuff, which obviously, and Jurassic Park and other huge grossing films. But she's moaning as, obviously, when you get an accolade like this, the person to do is to complain about it. That she's often been cast for sexist reasons.
Oh my God, these people are so pathetic, yeah.
Andrew, I'll come to you on this. When promoting, I think, Jurassic Park, Jurassic Park Rebirth movie came out this weekend. She said, when I was younger, a lot of the roles I was offered or I went for had their ambitions or character arcs revolving around their own desirability or the male gaze or
no shit, people want to look at attractive people. Oh my God.
A male-centered story. That's less frequent though. Something has shifted. I mean, this idea that
Andrew, please call her a whore. Please call her a whore. She is out there to make money and put her body out there for money, and she was okay about it when she's young, and now she's old, and people are looking at other women, and she's all mad about the male gaze. She's a whore.
We might go to the movies to look at beautiful people. That males may gaze at beautiful women. Is this the most shocking?
Not Ernest! Not Ernest! He's not this guy. He's gazing at other beautiful things.
Bombshell of the week, Andrew?
Also, it's not just that. Like, how stupid to admit that out loud. Basically, aren't you just admitting that you were a skank for money?
The correct take. That is the correct take.
Like, if it was really a big deal, you're like, oh, God, the male gaze, they're sexualizing me. It's all. Why would you take the role then? Just don't take the role. But apparently, if it pays good enough, she must not mind too much about that whole male gaze thing, huh? Because when it came time for her to collect those millions of dollars based on the male gaze, she definitely took the role. So,
oh my God, dude, I'm just waiting for the crash out.
I would like her to give an explanation for that. Male gaze bad, but I like to contribute to it as much as possible for money. Aren't you just basically admitting that you're a Hollywood prostitute at that point?
That's what I'm talking about.
With your values, aren't you selling out for money, literally?
Well,
like,
Taylor, your eyebrows just nearly
another form of
exploded, so clearly you don't agree with that.
All right, let's go. Let's fucking go. I'm ready. I'm ready for the Taylor take.
I think it's just shocking.
It's shocking. Misogyny is so alive.
The disgusting, misogynistic.
Oh God! Literally right there. It's the only thing you could say. Everything he said was completely correct.
Way that Andrew can't help but talk about women.
Not women, just the whores, bro. Not women in general, specific ones. Yeah.
I would say also, by the way,
a woman?
No, women generally
A
seem
woman?
to have.
No, I'm sorry. It's not a monolith. If I can critique a woman, that's not critiquing all women. You see how that works?
Wait, he's not allowed to interrupt you when you literally completely misrepresented him?
Oh, the whole show.
Yeah.
All libs.
No, these libs. These libs are not all libs.
I'm
You see how
not
that
a lib.
works?
Oh my God, it's so crazy how
Oh yes,
you
you're
guys.
a lib, lady.
Everyone that
Oh, yeah.
doesn't like you don't
You just so
like is a
happen to
lib.
be liberal on every social policy, but you're not a
Liberal.
liberal. huh?
Liberals are hardly where I'm at on social issues. Anyway,
Yeah, I'm a communist terrorist supporter. Get it right.
my point is that Scarlett Johansson, Piers, I don't know that I would classify that quote as moaning. What she seems to be talking about is just how her roles have changed over time. I would note that overwhelmingly women are paid less than men, even for the highest actress.
Oh my fucking God. We cannot keep doing this. We can't keep doing this. This was debunked 20 years ago. There's no gender wage gap. It's not a real thing. It's not a... Men take different jobs than women, okay? Men work generally more hours than women. This is a fact. Stop it. Oh my... Dude, this is literal proof against it. Scarlett Johansson is the most paid actor of all time. More than any man. Ever. What are you talking about?
Might be paid as a woman, but I think that what she's saying is it's not a myth that women are paid less. I'm sorry.
Equal pay myth?
It's a myth.
Equal pay myth that we can, that's a whole separate conversation.
I think in Hollywood now it's pretty well equal pay, isn't it? If you get the big roles, I don't think In music,
Oh my God, this dude is literally praying to every god he doesn't have. Look at this. That's amazing. Look at this dude.
full pay, isn't it? If you get the big roles, I don't think.
Oh my God.
I think
In music, most of the biggest stars now are currently women, aren't they? Beyonce, Taylor Swift. I mean,
if you
I don't know. I can't think of many industries where women are not actually paid at least or more than men.
Just because there are a few very high-paid women in,
Oh my
in
God,
entertainment
stop being a
industries
loser.
doesn't mean that women across the board make more than men. And when you look
suck.
at other
It's literally a myth. This has been debunked forever ago. Men and women are biologically different. Men take different jobs biologically than women. This is a fact. It's literally a fact.
industries like finance or tech or some of these other.
That's because of. Listen,
look at
Taylor,
the
this is
billionaires,
nonsense.
they're
That's
barely
because
women.
of choices that women make. That's
True.
because of the number of hours that they work.
True.
That's because women take maternity. It's because guys work more hours and work harder.
She's right.
There's a whole bunch of reasons we
She's
can
right.
get
She's
into
literally right.
that.
Yeah, we actually can
I ask-
adjust
can I
it for
make a
parody
comment?
easily.
Can I make a
God.
comment about Scarlett though here for a second? Because I think what's interesting here is that listen, she made all of her money being a sex symbol, right? She always had the boobs out. That's how she made her money. She made the decision to accept roles where, yes, she was, part of the male gaze. And that's
True.
how she made her.
You see, the thing is, she was part of the male gaze, and this dude is part of the male gaze. Sorry.
Her fame. I find it really interesting, honestly, that she turns 40, she's older, and now all of a sudden she decides,
She's
I'm
right.
gonna
That's exactly what I said.
Maybe
Facts.
she's
Facts.
the male gaze isn't looking at her.
The wall is
True.
undefeated.
She's not
The
getting
wall is
those roles
undefeated.
Hoflation is so real. Hoflation is real.
anymore, and she's now realizing there's a
Uh-oh.
younger woman on the block.
Uh-oh.
There's a hotter woman on the block.
Uh-oh.
Okay, I also
And
let me
he's,
hate
by
on
the
them
way, to
now.
complete
now
the
that I made all my money.
to complete the conspiracy theory, is that why Charlize Theron, at the age of 50, has gone out doing podcasts talking about banging 26?
Correct! Because they're not getting those jobs anymore. They're giving it to 25-year-old women in Hollywood. They're not giving it to hags, bro. That's why they all have podcasts. Every single one of them. The old actress, failed actress to podcast pipeline is 100% true. It is so real. As likely as it is that a male comedian gets a podcast, a washed-up actress will get a podcast.
6-year-old guys.
Every
Could
time.
that be why? Is it to make Hollywood think I'm...
There's so much sexism, guys. This isn't gonna work anymore. This isn't gonna work anymore. This is the craziest thing. This will not work. The era of yelling and screaming platitudes on the internet is dead. The feminism is dead, bro. It's dead. At least modern, perverted, weird feminism.
Still hot and desirable.
I've still got it. I've still got it.
I've still got the
you wanna
young
cast
male
me?
gaze.
Of course, because there is an insecurity, and
older
women
men
don't
do
like to
it?
talk about this, but there is an insecurity that arises in women, particularly in a beauty-driven industry. Hollywood is all about looks. It's all about the female gaze, the male gaze. You see,
It's misogyny that puts that pressure on
That's
women.
not-
Oh my fucking God. How do people take her seriously? How do people actually take her even remotely seriously when she says things like this? What, you think it's misogynism that men beat off to fucking hotter women? Are you retarded? Like, are you actually retarded? Is it misogyny when people go to OnlyFans of sexy women as opposed to OnlyFans of Frogan? All right, listen, I'll be real here. You're a complete retard. She's a journalist. Let me remind you, an actual journalist. It's misogyny to be attracted to attractive women. You heard it first.
hatred of women. Taylor, do you know what misogyny means? It means hatred of women. It is not hatred of women to talk about the reality that women, I'm a woman, I'm not a misogynist. Women.
Oh my God, you're attracted to attractive women? You're such a misogynist.
Get more insecure as they age about their looks when they're in a beauty-driven industry.
Actual buzzword master.
That's why Botox exists.
Someone in my chat told me I should be more polite to retarded people. I'm so sorry.
That's why.
Dude, she is fucking cooking. I don't know who she is, but she has been on fire.
Let me go to the expert on the panel when it comes to male gazes.
Ernest! Go to Ernest.
At beautiful women. Ernest.
Yeah! I love him. All right, Ernest, cook, my brother.
Your thoughts on this?
I'm ready.
No, I mean, to be honest, I think that two things can be true at the same time.
All
You know,
right.
people
I'm
have the
listening.
right to evolve and also see things reflectively. What you do in
She evolved coincidentally at the same time that they stopped casting her in roles. All right,
your
dude.
young age, I mean, heaven forbids, I mean, you all claim that you all don't support cancel culture, but, you know, a lot of you all would make the case that maybe she did at one point in time when she was
What?
younger, may have thought that's what she needed to do, and that's how she got her career. But maybe years later, she...
Well, how is this even remotely relevant? Okay, let me make this clear for you, all right? If someone needs to become a stripper to make a career, because otherwise they will die of hunger, and then they become a stripper, okay, because they need to do it to survive, and then they claim, after 40 years, when they become mega rich, that all those strippers are out there, it's all misogyny, that people are going to strip clubs. That's horrible. It didn't used to be like that in the old days. That's the analogy here. That's what's happening.
You can get older and reflect and say, hey, some of the stuff I did back then.
And by the way, Ernest,
back,
it's the same. It's the same with men.
I love Ernest. I love him because he has the worst take every time.
Right? I mean, it's the same with male movie stars. When they cross a point where the female gaze moves from them to a younger, hotter model. It's exactly the same the other way around. You look at it all the time. Look at the hot movie male.
And you would know. You are a male gay.
Stars of 20 years ago. They're not there anymore.
Right, but the difference is, though, with those roles, that's actually not true all the way. A lot of these older men do get to evolve and date younger women. What we don't see that much in Hollywood.
I mean,
well, that's not even what we were talking about.
Female moviegoers going to see male movie stars, the reason they go moves from the female gaze at a hot young movie star to something different when they get older, right? So in other words, it works the same way.
But that's not range, though. They can get a range. What I think that happened with Scarlett Johansson, a lot of these actresses, is that what you'll see with men is that they can do both. They can do the Oscar-winning Leonardo DiCaprio films, and they can also do the sex symbol films. They can also do it simultaneously and still get the awards. Versus what we see with women in Hollywood, it seems to be a double standard where prestige films that they can be in and star in, oftentimes they don't get the chance to be the ingenue or play into the sex role. But if they do go that way, they can't have both ways. So Denzel can be both. But Scarlett Johansson couldn't do both most of that.
Okay,
yeah, but why? Okay, but
what
why
is
would
he
you
fucking talking about? Well, because she's a bad actress, so therefore her only appeal was sex appeal, and now she doesn't have that, so it's not fair.
complain then? Why would you complain and say, the male gaze is so terrible, and then take the role as a woman? Why would you take the role if the male gaze is such a... Hang on. Let him answer the question. Why is it that if you really saw this as a problem from a feminist view, the male gaze, as a female actress who's aspiring, why would you take the role? Aren't you just selling out for money, dude?
Completely correct. He's completely right. If the male gaze is a problem, then you're a whore. If the male gaze is not a problem, then you are a virtue signaling, a jealous bitch. That's my opinion. If the male gaze is always there, then you are selling your body for money. Hot take.
I mean, I'm not a woman, so I'm not the one taking the role, but I'm saying something like I'm saying before.
See how they don't answer any questions? They just refuse.
It is crazy. They're not answering a single thing he's saying.
No, I'm answering your question. What I'm saying is that you, at the end of the day, it's none of these things, like even the way that people vote for certain elected officials.
What?
It's never one size fit all. She had survival. She wanted to get her career. She wanted to do certain things. Does she have regrets? I don't know. But what I will say is that there's a lot of factors that people do when they make their decisions, right? There's certain people where...
So she's a whore, is what you're saying?
You don't agree with everything on all aspects, but you do some. And I think at a certain point,
I hear what you're saying, Ernest. It just seems a little convenient, though. It just seems a little convenient to make all of your money, off of being a sex symbol and an overt sex symbol. I mean, half naked, this, that. You make all your money that way. You should own it. She should be coming out and saying,
I totally agree. I think that the women I admire in the entertainment world are the ones who are smart but are unafraid to say, I use my sex appeal and it makes me tons of money, as well as my smarts, as well as my talent. It's a whole package. Same with the guys, right? If you're a hot movie star who's got talent, you're going to make more money than an ugly one. It's as simple as that. It's not fair. Life isn't fair.
True.
Hollywood's not fair.
Yeah. I want to end. This was a bizarre moment last week in the House of Commons here in the United Kingdom.
Oh, let's go, dude.
Just for background, we have a woman called Rachel Reeves, who is the first female Chancellor of the Exchequer, so the second most powerful person in the British government.
All right, the second most... I showed you this clip in the very beginning. This was a bad week for feminists, bro.
The treasurer, if you like, of the United Kingdom. And she did the one thing which I guess most women who had voted for her would have wished she hadn't done, which is at the weekly Prime Minister's questions with Sir Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister, she was openly crying in the background. And this followed a very bad week for the government, a very bad week for her. One of the signature policies that had to perform a big U-turn on. She apparently been seen having a blazing row with some colleagues and with the Speaker of the House. She then came out the next day grinning like a Cheshire cat a little too much for my credible belief. And said that there was a personal issue going on, the details of which have not emerged, and I suspect they won't.
Yeah, that's what they call bullshit. That's what they call bullshit, all right? There was no fucking personal anything. She cried, and that's okay. That's okay. You're allowed to cry, and, women cry more than men. That happens. Women are more emotional than men. It's a fact. I'm sorry. It's not offensive. There's nothing wrong with that. That's just life. I don't understand.
Won't. Andrew.
Like, this is not controversial. That's just life.
The problem I have with this is that I think a lot of women will have felt let down, that you finally get a female Chancellor of the Exchequer, and within a few months she's crying in the most high-profile televised moment of...
In my opinion, anyone that's upset at her for this is a retard. All right? If you are a woman that supports feminism and are happy to have a strong woman in office and she cries, you know what you should say? Okay, women cry. Who cares? That's the response. That is the response. Women are more emotional than men. Hormonally, biologically, that's just a fact. This is like, it's such a nothing burger, but people were so upset that she is supposed to be a strong woman.
Each week in the House of Commons, and it looks like it's just because she had a bad week.
Well, gee, who could have predicted this? Who could have predicted that women who are in positions of power may act overtly emotional?
It happens. That's life.
Just based on, well, even the hormones in their body.
True. Straight biology.
I am so stunned. I'm shocked. I can't believe that women everywhere are stunned and shocked that women, when they become very emotional, begin crying.
Crazy. Definitely a surprise. The world was not ready.
No shock to me, of course. No shock to anybody else on
Let
this
me ask.
panel.
No shock to anyone on the planet, okay?
Inside of your leadership?
Jedediah, as a woman. All right, Jedediah, as a woman, are you comfortable with what you're hearing from Andrew there?
Yeah, why not? Literally, why would anyone be surprised? Dude, listen. Women know better than anybody. Y'all cry sometimes. It's okay. Who cares? That happens. That's just a fact.
I actually am comfortable with it.
Incredibly based. That's just life. It happens. This is not a bad thing, all right? That's just straight biology.
Completely honest, because the truth is that men and women are different, and we are emotional, and I kind of wear the fact that I have an emotional cycle that goes like this throughout the month, like we all do, like a badge of honor, because it's what makes me a woman. The thing is, you can't be in a leadership position and act like that. As an example, do y'all remember John Boehner? John Boehner was a disaster. He was always crying. So
that's pathetic as fuck. If you're a man, you do not have any excuses. You have no hormonal excuses to be sitting there crying. And if you're a man, I think that's totally different. I think that's a completely different can of worms.
This is not exclusive to women. Let's just say that.
Listen, a man have the right. You are allowed to cry, absolutely. But like, come on, dude.
Totally agree. If this had been, I think if it had been a man, a male Chancellor of the Exchequer crying, he'd have got whacked even more.
Well,
See, again, I think men have every right to cry. Men have every right to be in touch with their emotions and shit like that. But if you're a leader and you're trying to be a strong person and you're just crying randomly because of stress or whatever, it's pretty pathetic. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty pathetic. It really is. Like, if you're crying at your mother's funeral, zero judgment. You have every right, all right? But like, if you're supposed to be a leader and you're a little stressed and you're crying like a bitch, sorry, you're a bitch.
That's the difference, because if you remember,
Howard Dean got ran out for a
memes,
scream. I mean, come on.
People were making fun of him all the time. He was the laughing stock. The difference is here, a lot of people jump and make excuses. Well, she had a bad day. Honestly, I don't care that you had a bad day. You're in a leadership position. I mean, the bond market had a sell-off because this woman was crying.
Yeah.
These have real ramifications. So I think what Andrew's getting at is, listen, men and women are different. And it begs the question, if we are naturally more emotional, and we are by nature.
Women are not.
Did she say we're not? You have to deny basic reality. This is basic biological reality. How the fuck are you like this? How do these people exist? Oh my lord.
We are.
No, they're not.
Listen,
yes, they are.
What are you even talking about?
All right, Taylor,
And I'll tell you what I mean by that, because men and women are a social construct. Really, nobody is any gender, and everybody is all genders. So really, everyone is all things together combined.
Question for you, Taylor. If Donald Trump's bottom lip began to tremble and he started crying on national TV, when he was addressing the Congress or something, I mean, come on, you'd absolutely murder him.
Yeah, true.
He's having tantrums every week.
What?
He's having emotional
cry.
He isn't.
What? Well, I don't remember ever seeing Trump crying.
Have you ever seen Donald Trump crying
He was acting like a petulant child.
public?
Okay, I'm not talking about crying.
Oh, no, okay. So I'm not talking about the thing that you're talking about. Very cool.
If listen, here's the thing. It's not like women having any type of emotion.
What?
Outside of nodding their head.
What are you
shaking her
talking
head.
Women have a lot of emotions, actually. What are you talking about? What is going on?
about? What are
Listen,
you talking
you-
about?
You don't want women to have emotions. No, literally the opposite. I think it's perfectly okay to recognize that men and women are biologically different, and women are more emotional as a fact. This is literally a fact.
He didn't actually say that. He said women. Ernest, hang on.
I love Ernest. He's the best.
Hang on.
Hold on.
He didn't
If a
actually
woman
say.
would've been
Hang on.
yelling
Hang
and
on.
screaming
Hang
rather
on.
than-
You're missing.
you
Hang
say
on. Stop talking,
she-
Ernest. Ernest.
I'm acting like Andrew right now.
Ernest.
How
Stop
you
talking
acting
for a
like
moment.
me? You're acting like a
All
woman,
Andrew
bro.
said was women are more emotional.
Oh,
He wasn't
no.
surprised, right?
Oh,
he wasn't sort of damning women for being emotional. He just said they are more emotional.
Correct. That's just a fact.
Yeah, well, and she actually said no, they're not. How would you ever even dispute this?
He's completely right. He's completely right. Listen, man. Anyone that has any life experience knows this to be true. Like, I don't care what fucking Harvard law paper comes out that it turns out that there's no, that women are actually emotionless juggernauts. All right, come on. This is like actually delusional, right? If you've ever had a wife or a girlfriend or a mother, or you would know this to be true, all right? Like you, what are you even talking about? Women on their periods, women when they're pregnant, women right after they give birth are emotional messes. I don't want to be rude here, but absolutely true. This is a fact. And it's not a bad thing. That's just life. That's literally just life. It's a great thing that God created women exactly like he did. And they are more emotional. And that has its advantages and its disadvantages.
It's objectively true that the
And Ernest, because he also might get periods.
hormone functions that are inside of women are different than the ones that are inside of men. That is objectively true in general. Can you point to some women who are more, hang on.
Absolutely, there's exceptions to every rule. Some women will be more stoic. Some men will be more emotional. But as a general rule, 1,000%.
Can you point to an outlier of some women? Hang on, I'm almost done.
Someone in my chat just said, when I was pregnant, I cried into my Rice Krispies because I didn't have peanut butter and biscuits. Exactly! Yes! And you know what? That's perfectly fine. That is a perfectly fine thing. No, this isn't bad. I don't know why it's considered bad to be emotional. It's just true. That's life, bro. That's literally life.
Calm down. Can you point to some women? Can you point to some women and say that they're more emotionally stable? Sure, but on average, women have far more emotional regularity than men do. In fact, they have one time of the month they're famous for.
Taylor, would you say you're more emotional than your male colleagues when you worked with men?
Oh gosh, I've worked with men that have
Answer the question. Oh my God, she never answers anything.
cried in my arms.
Cap. I'm calling cap. That's some bullshit, all right? I love when people have these analogies. All these fucking losers with their analogies. Oh my God. Yeah, bullshit, bro.
And it's so funny for Andrew to say this as
right.
Andrew
Based. Yeah, make fun of them. Absolutely.
Honey.
Andrew is the one.
Those are not men.
See?
Goddamn.
Out. Andrew is the one that is
Yeah, in your workplace, you have men crying in your arms. Yeah. I call bullshit on that one, brother.
losing his mind on
It was Ernest. Shut up, Chad.
this panel, screaming and shouting and making fun and
I
doing
haven't
all these
screamed and shouted at
Screaming and shouting.
anybody. What are you talking about? Do you
Roll
think
the
that,
tape
like,
up.
if you just assert lies, that people who watch this aren't going to be able to
Right
see that they're
now,
clearly
listen,
lies?
right now shouting over me. Listen to this. This
He's
is
talking. What are you? What is going on?
crazy. I've
That's
asked
not
him.
shouting. That's not
Let me
shouting.
do
I
this,
think those
because
earrings
woman
are
to
hurting
woman-
your brain, lady.
We can do this for a second, woman to woman, Taylor, because I will say to you, Taylor, there
It's
is
therefore shouting.
there is no question about it that when you look at Taylor, when you look at a man, his testosterone is pretty steady.
Yeah, that's just light. That's biology, baby.
His whether you like it or not, his hormones
The person crying in her arms was Hassan Piker after I dropped my newest video.
are steady. That's what comprises a man. When you look at our hormones, they do this naturally. That's why we have a cycle. That's why we have the beautiful gift of being able to make babies. That's what makes women women. So yes, there can be an outlier over here and there. John Boehner, I use the
Did she just say no, it's not? Ask her what a woman is. It'll completely destroy her. Ask her what a woman is and watch her face explode.
example of John Boehner, but it's very, very safe to say that in general, women are more emotional than men. And
That's a
that
fact.
does beg the question then,
That's a
if
fact.
women are in leadership roles where there are serious ramifications like a bond market sell-off, if that woman is seen crying, is that a good look overall for the country? The answer is no.
That's
now,
a
we
fact.
can sit and have a debate over whether women should be in positions of power or not, but we can't have a debate over whether women are more emotional because hormonally, that's just a fact.
Taylor?
Not her, but her colleagues are crying in her arms, though. They're crying.
All of them, literally all of the men, they all get together to cry cry in the arms.
In her arms.
I mean, yeah, I had a colleague that cried after something horrific happened.
You said that you made it sound like men were coming to you and falling to pieces and they were more emotional.
I said I had a male colleague cry in my arms. I've witnessed somebody die in front of my face at my job.
Weird flex. What? Huh? What? What are we doing here?
It's like, oh my God, you don't know anything about life. I'm literally watching people dying all the time.
And do you think that are emotional? Yeah, I know. It's so ridiculous.
Absolutely.
Is it the case that you, when you work with other men, that you're generally more emotional than them or not?
I'm calling it here. She's not answering. I'm calling it. She's not going to answer. She will not be answering the question.
That's the question.
All right. Yes or no?
Listen to you crash out.
I don't know why you won't answer. Why can't you question, lady?
Just answer it.
Shouting like a little
just
child.
yes or no. You're crashing out. Oh my God, you're crashing out. I don't know how to answer questions. Oh my God, just answer the question.
About how women are more emotional as you are.
Are
literally
you more emotional than your male colleagues generally or not? Can you answer yes or no? That would be great.
Are we going to get on
Are
this?
you ever going to answer the question?
Dude, I love how this dude, you know what he's thinking about right now? Piers Morgan. He's like, the money is rolling in. He's like, oh God, this is unreal. Bro, you're emotional right now, bitch.
I answered it many, many times.
Yeah? No, you didn't.
Okay, so yes or no would be great.
You cannot. You're like a little petulant child.
Yes or no? Yes or no?
These are like, it's crazy. This is diabolical.
Screaming and making these silly voices.
I'm not screaming. I'm holding you to account. Me talking is you ignoramus. Yes or no?
I think, look at the example right here on this panel. That Andrew is absolutely...
Still not answering the question, lady. Answer the question.
See how you keep calling me lady?
I love how she's proving him completely right. This is horrible. Oh my God, does she know how bad she looks? Oh Lord, this is amazing. This is cinema. Oh my God. Definitely subscribe. Oh Lord.
You won't call me by my name
Just
because
answer the question. I don't remember your name.
When she's upset that he's calling you lady, you were calling him a misogynist this entire episode.
Why am I supposed to remember your name? Answer the question.
Anyway,
Can you answer the question?
This is crazy. Women are not
yes
inherently.
Or no?
Women are not inherently.
This is amazing. So you're actually fucking stun-locked by a yes or no question.
You're angry. What are you saying? Are you not hearing what she's saying? You want her to speak the way you want to speak, but she answered your question.
I'm sorry.
You want her to speak the way you want her to speak. This is why we have Ernest on the panel. This is why we have Ernest. Yes! Yes! Answer yes or no!
All right, let me ask. Hang on.
Hang on. I am here, politically correct. Don't forget, I'm here too. This is my show.
Ask her.
Taylor, in relation to Rachel Reeves crying in the House of Commons, did she let the sisterhood down? Would it have been better for her to hold it? And
no.
Ernest, you're not called Taylor.
Taylor. Look at that. They can answer questions. Yes.
Taylor?
Listen to this man just screeching.
Yeah. Oh my God, you are so pathetic. It is unreal.
Anyway, I will say that.
Thank God you're in no position of power.
Everyone talking is screeching.
You don't want anyone to ask you a yes or no question. It might break your face.
Screeching.
You're
talking, you're screeching.
Listen to this.
What an emotional woman. Oh my God.
How this guy thinks he's like.
Oh my God.
This guy? Call him by his name.
Oh my God. Clutch your pearls harder, lady. Just answer the questions you're asked.
It's so funny how you continue.
Would you like me to mail?
Oh my God, she's so emotional. She's crashing out right now.
You a pearl necklace so you can tug it when we're on the panel next time? Oh, I can't believe it. Oh, how I'm treated is so terrible.
Look at this guy. This guy is just thinking cinema.
Terrible. Just answer the questions.
Don't
have this problem.
Piers,
it's a meltdown now.
Okay, Taylor, answer my question, Taylor.
Yes, absolutely. So I think that basically, generally, I take your point that any politician that shows emotion is often sadness, rather like crying, is often stigmatized for it. But women are.
I think it did. So to be clear, I think it.
Oh my fucking God! Why are we doing this?
Depends on the circumstance, right? So
obviously,
if there was a terrible,
if someone dies and someone cries at their mother's funeral, that's obviously perfectly acceptable. But if someone just had a stressful day and is sitting there in the House of Commons weeping her eyes out, that's pathetic. I'm sorry, it is. What are we doing?
If there was a terrible event and a prime minister or a chancellor came out and got emotional talking about a terrible national tragedy, of course, no one's going to ever think anything other than that's a human emotion. I think the feeling here was that things had just got on top of her. It had been a bad week at work. She'd had a few rows before she came out, and she just lost it in public. And it was that upset other women in particular who went, come on, you're the first female chancellor, don't do this to us.
Well, because again, women are held to this really, really intense standard.
Are you retarded, bro? If it was a man crying, he would have been held to such a much higher standard. Women are held to a much lower standard than men. Oh my God, dude.
And so, yes, any sort of display of emotion like that is going to be weaponized against them by people.
And a display of emotion like that by a man would not be weaponized. Oh my God. Like she doesn't even live in reality.
This man or whatever who's on the panel who can't stop shouting.
This man.
But I will say that—
How dare he ask me yes or no questions? The misogyny.
That, you know, this idea—
I'm too busy supporting terrorists.
Yeah, that male leaders— Here he is talking over me right now.
You were literally screaming the entire panel.
Well, I mean, you can't help but talk about me every 5 seconds, lady. You want me to—
Oh my God, Taylor, I think you're obsessed with him. I think you're obsessed with him. You're crashing out right now. Are you gonna cry? Are you gonna cry? Oh God, you're emotional.
I want
you can't reference me and then say I'm not allowed
Taylor,
to respond.
women,
You're
to
like
reference
this,
something
man.
that you said. Taylor, to reference something that you said.
Hang on, I want to hear Taylor answer
Hang on.
to the question. Taylor.
She has yet to answer any questions. We have to hear.
Years. To finish my point, I will say that this idea that male leaders aren't emotional, I think is just completely wrong, because I think—
Oh my God, no one said that. People just said that women are more emotional than men, and she was crying like a bitch in fucking Congress, baby. Oh my Lord.
They're emotional in different ways. Society stigmatizes different forms of emotion in man. The way that a lot of men express their emotion as political leaders is anger. And what Ernest was talking about earlier of Donald Trump being—
Is anger and weeping the same thing? I don't understand. Let me catch you up to speed. All right, let me show you a clip. All right, let me show you a clip. Okay? Recently there was a war between Israel and America against Iran. Okay? I want to make this perfectly clear. Now, in this war that happened, there was eventually a ceasefire, and after that ceasefire took place, Iran broke the ceasefire and struck Israel. Israel said, you know what? Fuck them. We are gonna strike back. And Trump does this.
Two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
He was mad. He was angry. And he wanted this war to end. And you know what? He ended this war. He ended the war.
So hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
And he ended it. He showed emotion. He ended a war. If he would have been crying like a bitch instead, do you think he would have ended that war? The obvious answer is no.
Erratic, irrational, emotional. He is extremely emotional. We have plenty of male leaders that are highly emotional, and they might not be crying, but I would say that their very intense emotions do have significant political and economic consequences. So I think it's good to destigmatize emotion, but let's not act like there's not sexism here.
And let's also give you credit, Taylor. You've probably had a harder time from Andrew Wilson in the last hour than Rachel Reeves got from her colleagues, and you haven't cried. So I think that should be acknowledged.
Not yet. Give her another hour with this guy. Oh Lord.
I'm here.
Well, I mean, give me another hour.
If you just whine and whine and whine.
You know what? I think
the whole thing is like, you can see even on this panel, holding women accountable is basically impossible. They don't even answer questions. Like, we asked this lady, I don't know how many questions, and she answers every question except the one we asked her, just reframes the entire debate every time. You would have had a way less hard, it would have been way less hard for you if you would have just actually answered it.
Bro, I love this look that Ernest gives him. He just said something completely true, and you get Ernest giving him a whoop. You know, my vibrator fell in my other hole instead. You know, that's like whoopsie poopsie.
He cannot. You'll note, by the way, how he speaks to me. He doesn't give me the courtesy of speaking with.
Why the fuck should he give you courtesy when you didn't give him any courtesy? You called him a misogynist the entire time. Why the fuck does he owe you anything? Like, this is such a disgusting far left mentality that you are owed anything. You are owed nothing.
My name. He's been mocking.
No. You called me this man. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Am I going, oh my God, she called me this man. Oh, she's so disrespectful.
This disrespectful voice. It's really something to watch.
A disrespectful voice.
And I think when we're talking about emotion, and we have a man on this very panel who can't help but do these strange little voices and interrupt every 2 seconds.
He was making fun of you because you deserved it.
Get mad.
I love how everyone's laughing at her because she's crashing the fuck out. She has nothing happening between her ears, so she just has having like this emotional crash out right now. Thank you for proving every point.
That he's
what
not
I find interesting, can I just say what I find
mocking voices. Oh, the audacity.
Answer the questions, lady.
What I find interesting about this panel is that, Taylor, you chose...
Get her anxiety pen immediately.
to be honest, you chose to talk about sexism and to say, well, women have, an unfair advantage in this and they're stigmatized in that, and to go after Andrew, when in fact I've been saying a lot of the same things that he's been saying, but you chose to make it sexist. You chose to make, because it's an easy target. Hold on a second. It's an easy target.
Ma'am,
But it's an easy target. It's an easy target to say on the panel. The bottom line is that women. Here's the line.
They don't let her say a word. This is like a beautiful crash out. Oh my god.
Hey, ma'am, why don't you
want to be treated as an equal to a man? If you want to be treated as an equal to a man, then it can't always be sexism this or misogyny
Nobody's
this.
saying that all the people are sexist. They're saying that this guy, Andrew.
Hold on, I want to say this.
Destigmatize.
Equal rights, equal fights, bitch.
As emotion, except Andrew's.
But instead of them, just answer the questions, right? We can
it's as easy as that.
As women.
Respectfully, if you.
All right, Ernest.
Listen,
here comes the
it's
tone.
Not about, it's about gender because there's 3 men on this panel. It's
not about gender, all right?
It's about approach.
Approach. Your tone was disrespectful, Andrew.
Must have called
3
Taylor
men on
out
this
of
panel.
None of us are berating her. You see how he's disrespecting me, and I haven't even went there.
But what I'm saying to you, listen, as a woman, I'm saying to you, as a woman, instead.
No, not the 2.5 man panel. No.
Crying sexism. I'm not going to sit here and cry sexism or cry misogyny when somebody comes at me. I'm going to answer the question and come back with facts.
Okay.
So that's all I'm saying.
I'm aligned with Andrew.
This is so amazing.
I gave you my opinion.
And that's why you will never say sexism, because the other men on this panel agree with you. I don't agree with you on a lot of points, but I'm respecting you. That's why you can't say sexism. The other 2 men, Piers disagrees with Taylor, but Piers is not disrespecting Taylor, and she's not calling him sexist.
That's because Piers knows exactly what the fuck he's doing. He got this dude to be there instead. He's just saying all the things that Piers is too much of a pussy to say himself. This is beautiful. Absolute cinema. There is no 2 ways about it. This is absolute cinema. It's unbelievable.
Listen, Andrew can defend himself.
It's disrespectful to purposely obfuscate and avoid the questions you're being asked. That is not.
I agree, by the way. I don't view respect at all the same way she does. She thinks respect is sitting there and gobbling on your knob the entire time, saying, oh, you're so right, queen, you're so right, calling you by your name and correct pronouns. That's what she thinks respect is. In my opinion, respect is behaving like a decent human being. And if you're having a conversation, not acting in bad faith every single fucking time.
Not respect. That is a form of the greatest form of disrespect, not tone, dude. Refusing to answer the questions you're asked, that's what's disrespectful.
And doing all of these silly little voices and refusing to call me by my name, and just by basically throwing a little temper tantrum.
Why don't we try and end on a happy note? I want Andrew and Taylor to end by saying something nice about each other.
Oh my god, dude. Oh no.
To each other. Andrew, you go first. Something nice about Taylor.
He's alive. That's something nice. He's alive. He's alive.
Andrew, something nice about Taylor.
Well, I mean, it doesn't look like she's going bald. I think that's good.
That's something. All right.
Taylor, something nice about
Andrew. A lot of women
Andrew.
in that age bracket. A lot of women in that age bracket go bald. I don't know what the deal is. Maybe it's all the plastic.
I can't say the same thing for Andrew's hairline, but I guess he has a nice.
It's nicer.
What's wrong with his hairline?
Than your hairline.
Like, dude, you could have literally hit him with anything. You could have fucking hit him with anything, bro. Literally anything. He's actually not balding. Bro, he should have been brave and been like, nice tits. He should have done something like that. Like, literally just fucking twist the knife.
Come on, Taylor, one compliment.
Nicer than your hairline.
Well, now here he is, negating what he just said about my hair. Piers, I don't think Andrew is capable of saying something kind.
So you can rise to a higher place, Taylor. Say something nice about him.
I said I liked his shirt. I think he's got a nice shirt on, and that is
all right, let's go.
On that note,
okay,
we will leave it. Thank you all very much.
Bro, this was diabolical. This was actual fucking cinema. I'm telling you, man, this is how you know that feminism is cooked. It really is.
Thank you, Piers.
This is how you know that it's cooked. This is absolutely how you know that feminism is cooked. When a debate like this when a slaughter like this happens with zero repercussions, and the men basically, like the anti-feminist side comes out absolutely diametrically on top in every possible regard. That's how you know shit's cooked. I'm really glad that we're living in a society where you can call whores, where you could say that things that are immoral, and when you can actually hold people accountable for being retards. This is a glorious era. Subscribe, and I will hold your hand hand as I take you through these beautiful fields where we will keep making fun of more and more retards as the time goes on. I personally like making fun of retards, but let's not forget...
That is dangerous. That's not good. That's dangerous. Let's up those numbers.
Let's up those numbers. Subscribe, baby. Let us up those numbers. And I'll see you in the next one, gamers. Stay weird, fam. Like, subscribe, and this video was streamed live on kick.com/Nuxanor. See you there. Stay weird, fam.